So in this video, I'm going to go through a specific one that may be relevant to students in particular, and mine is going to be, is there a relationship between how much time one studies and the grade they get on an exam? Okay? Something that's very familiar to most students. Is there a relationship between them? Sure. Do we kind of have an idea what it is? I bet, but let's not say right now. Let's just go on to the next part. So in the next part of this process, you say to yourself, is the relationship above a functional relationship in a strict mathematical sense? And what does that mean, a strict mathematical sense? Well, it's not too hard to understand. What it means is that if you study, for example, for 5 hours, you can't receive 2 grades. You either you're going to get for example, a 50. All right? It's not possible to receive 2 grades on an exam. So that pretty much is what you're looking for, a lack of ambiguity. When you go in to buy a car, for example, at a car lot, the salesperson, when you ask how much does this car cost, the salesperson doesn't say, well, it's $20,000 and $25,000, because you'd be confused. It would be ambiguous. You wouldn't be able to tell which one. So there is only one car price for each car. That's a functional relationship. There's only one exam grade that you're going to get for the amount of time that you put in. So turns out this one is functional. Not all relationships are functional. You could come up with many where the answer to this question would be no. In which case, you got to give up and you got to go back to step 1 and try all over. So the answer to this question is yes. And so we need to come up with a name or a symbol. We could call this the exam function, if we wanted to, the exam function. But in mathematics we like to abbreviate, so maybe we'll abbreviate. We'll just take the first letter from that and we'll call it E. So E stands for the exam function. Notice how, because I have determined that this relationship is functional, I'm no longer calling it a relationship, although it still is. I'm calling it a function. It's a functional relationship, or just simply a function. Okay? So what's the next part here? Describe that relationship in English using the 2 phrases you entered in part 1 above and words like more or less and up and down. More or less and up and down. Okay? Let's see. What do we know? How about the more I study, the better grade I get. Okay? Well, there seems to be a limit, right? So, well, that generally describes what goes on. We can talk about more details later if we want to. That's good enough for right now.